Oh, do you have an intro?
Comparison.
Comparison. You should do an intro. Like, hey guys. Hello.
Oh.
Hello. Oh, okay. Whip out the beautiful mane. Here, let me get out my damaged ass hair.
Hey, no, it's similar.
No, it's not.
We got twins. Yes, of course.
Oh,
it's
wow.
similar. What are you talking about?
Wow. Her hair.
We have the same hair. Oh.
One more time. Seductively flips hair. Your hair got in my eye.
Okay, let's do it outward so I don't hit you.
Okay. So we start from here.
3,
2, 1. I got in my face.
We're not gonna get anywhere.
No,
Okay.
we should start. Okay, we should let them know what we're doing. You should introduce
Hey
me.
guys, this is Sonia and go
You
for
should
it.
know my name. Oh.
Okay, this is my pal Delfina, and we're gonna be talking about the entire Throne of Glass series. Let's
Okay.
start. We'll
Okay.
start easy. Who are your favorite characters?
Oh, okay.
Officially
Man.
for me, it's Nehemia. In the first book.
Nehema.
Nehemia?
Welcome to the fandom. You're not gonna be able to pronounce any of the names.
Which one's the first? It's in the back. I know it's in the back.
I always
Nehemia.
went Nehema because there's an H.
Nehemia.
Nehema.
Nehemia.
Nehemia.
I was close.
Nehemia.
Yeah, well, yeah, she was my favorite. She's basically the entire first two book complications.
Yeah, no.
Because she knows everything, mostly.
You don't know that until the second book.
Well, yeah, but still, like...
But she definitely has an air of, like, I'll see. Like, she knows what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
she definitely has this kind of manipulative I think she...
Everything's coming back to me now, like,
Yeah.
slowly. It's been a while. It's been a year.
She
but it's
was
slowly
the
coming back.
one who made Throne of Glass good and complicated.
In the first two books,
In the first two books because...
Nehemia's dynamic with Selena is
Selena.
what kept me hooked, yeah.
And also it's
it
what
would have been
brings
a
out
regular,
Selena.
what is it? Yes, it does. She does. Yes.
It brings out Selena because remember Selena...
it's what, flirting with Dorian, like, and like...
It felt too
sexual
YA
tension
about
with,
that.
yes.
But then her interactions with Nehema really brought this one female friendship, which is very rare in YA books. So, from what I remembered, Nehema brought out Selena, and it's what saved her character.
It did.
Because in the first two books, at least, and it's not until the second book do you realize all that arrogance, all the things you didn't like about Selena was a mask toward all these, like, insecurities and guilt that she
that's true.
harbors.
And Selena as a character, I felt definitely after we get to know Aelin was more of a flat facade,
Yeah.
like you said, definitely.
A flat facade, and then like
And
that's
especially when you go back
people
and read,
who didn't like the first book, who didn't like Selena in the first book.
That's why.
That's on purpose. You're not supposed to like her.
By
she
the
doesn't
way,
like herself.
all spoilers.
But sorry, but like
All
if you're here and you only read the first book, this is also
Go back
keep
and read
reading.
the rest of it.
Keep reading because it's so good. It's so good.
Unless you're like me and you don't really care for spoilers all that much, unless you're in the book.
Or if you're like me who like purposely wants to get spoiled because the anxiety of not knowing it becomes deep. Yeah. Okay. My favorite character is Manon Blackbeak.
Yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
After Nehemia died, like she really wasn't, in the grand scheme of things, in the entirety of 5-6 books.
Mm-hmm. Not
I
including
think
Assassin's
Selena Aelin is definitely my favorite character, but if we're talking like pinpointed Nehemia, I'd say pretty high up there.
I like the fact that it took me a while to like Selena/Aelin.
Yeah.
Because that's
how it is with a lot of people with me.
Yeah.
Is I tend to dislike them a lot at first. I'm very judgmental.
You are. You're super judgmental. But the thing
Excuse me, I can say that.
Okay. One of the things that I really liked about Selena and Elite, it's that I forgot what I was gonna say.
Poop.
Oh shit. It's supposed to be complicated. It's probably this is what I would say. The character development in the Throne of Glass series is
You're so
by
washed
far
out.
sorry.
It's the light.
Is by far the best character development I have read in a YA book.
I just realized that she's wearing an I Love Books shirt, and you're both kind of matching. Like you're on the same color scheme.
Go.
So Manon Blackbeak is my favorite character because she's complicated. I didn't like her. I thought she was evil.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to be an antagonist. Like I thought she was going to be a problem. Gets introduced in Air of Fire. Arguably the best book in the series so far.
It is the best book
also
for a lot
the
of people.
book that brings the series to a point where it's like, oh, this is actually going to be good. Because it's like people who didn't like the first and second book read until the third book.
The third book is what a lot of people say hooked them, but I read the first 3 books in like within a 3-day span, and
One
so
book a day?
I don't know
Because
within a week span, a week span I'd say, but like I inhaled them, and so they don't actually exist as separate books. They exist as one entity, and then Queen of Shadows.
Okay, mine was different. So I started reading these books January because you told me about it. So like I was like, I'm not reading YA anymore because YA is stupid. And I just, YA is not stupid, but the problems I had with female characters written in YA, the relationships written in YA,
this is getting real, y'all,
were just, I felt like it was almost a mock toward young people.
It is a mock,
and it felt like it was so formulaic.
Or
and
maybe
we're
just growing up.
Yeah, that, or maybe editors just think of YA as a cash cow because it makes a lot of money. But it also feels like there's no respect to the readers and the complexities that they want in characters.
She knows what she's talking about.
Until you told me to read Throne of Glass, and I was like, fine, I'll read Throne of Glass. First book, I thought, okay, this is not that good. Second book, I was like, oh, okay, good. Okay, it's better. Third book, holy fucking shit, this is great. This is amazing. Assassin's Blade, I cried.
Yeah, that was sad.
Queen of Shadows, amazing. Not amazing. There was some logistical problems.
A lot of people think that the way Kale was characterized in Queen of Shadows was like going backwards on his entire character, but I don't think so. I think, well, maybe because I don't love him as much. Like a lot of people are like, oh my god, he's my fave. But like, I'm honestly, my fave is Selena, Aelin, and whoever she chooses, I'm fine with because it's her choice.
One of the things that I really like about Throne of Glass is how different it is from YA books, from the other YA books. It's not until the Heir of Fire do you really see the deconstruction of YA tropes. So the deconstruction of the love triangle really happens in Crown of Midnight.
But it's not a love triangle.
But it's not a midnight.
It's just...
It's almost a satire of what a love triangle looks like.
Is it a satire?
But it's like it gives you that peak of a satire, a peak of a love triangle that you see in other YA.
Yeah, where she's yearning for both, but she's not. She kisses Dorian once. She's like, chill, not anymore, not into it anymore.
Because she didn't want to put him in danger.
Yeah, and then she ends up with Kel hardcore because she really loved him.
Yeah, and then Dorian took it maturely.
Yeah,
which is what I like. Well, but it's also him.
He did mope a lot.
He did mope a lot.
Nehemia was like,
yeah,
bruh.
But like, he realized the reason why Selena broke it off with Dorian in the first book was because she cared about him. She didn't see him as able to protect himself, and he really couldn't. In Crown of Midnight, he kind of becomes a side character on purpose because both Kale and Selena push him to the side because they care about him so much. He also isn't able to protect himself. So that's like the big thing.
Well, he doesn't know anything that's
He doesn't know anything.
He's not kept in the loop because Selena shares everything with Kale because they're in a relationship, and Kale is the King's Guard. Captain of the Guard.
And he also trains with her, and it's like there's almost like a respect that they built with each other from like just fighting, so they know that each other can fight and see like that. So in Heir of Fire, Dorian is just a completely kind of flat character until Heir of Fire. No,
I don't think so. I think he's a little more.
He felt like every other pretty YA boy.
Oh yeah.
Especially in the first book.
Definitely in the first book, but I think in the second book
because he got maturity once he broke. He didn't take it like an entire boy. It was like, oh, you don't like me? No, he was more like, okay, fine, you don't like me. This makes me sad, but
let me readjust it.
My favorite scene was when Manon Blackbeak and Aline Fireheart, Galley Thayers, whatever, meet for the
Gilithinius.
first time. That was that
Oh
entire.
yeah, the entire thing where
like-
she saves her from falling into the destroyed.
And then she was like,
temple?
"You're too good a fighter to kill," and I'm like, "Oh God, it was just gold."
Yeah, it
that
was.
scene was amazing.
Mad respect.
It was just so well done. So it's just
And the debt that
The
now
debt in it.
the debt. Manon was now in debt because she saved her life.
yeah.
I don't think she repaid it back.
She didn't repay it.
In Queen of Shadows, she puts up like he's still in
yeah,
there
yeah.
around town, and I didn't.
And then she was like, "That's
Well,
it."
Manon considered that repayment for
Mhm.
saving her life, but I didn't. Yes, but also no. But
The thing for people who haven't really got to that part yet is that it's the part. It's like these two women just respect one another. They're both on the opposite sides of the war, but they immediately respect one another. And it's like, because first off, they're both killers. They both kill people. They both done terrible things, and they also, I feel like from first glance, they know that they've been conflicted over their morals and the decisions they have made. So there's an immediate respect for
well,
one another.
Manon, the guilt of what's going on is starting to get to her. Like,
And it's
she's
great.
now starting to build a conscience, which I love.
Yeah, like you think when
Now
she was
she's not.
introduced,
Now
you think
she's
she
not
was
a
gonna,
flat killer. Yeah,
she's not a flat killer. Because you think
And
she was
Astrid,
just,
with Astrid too, what happened to her?
oh shit, yeah.
The pregnancy thing.
Because
that-
what I like is that instead of just making a 13 evil antagonist against Elaine, you take a character like
they're a
Manon,
third
who-
party. They're
they're a third
potentially a curveball.
They're potentially
in-
a curveball.
and
they
a turning
dismantled
point
the
in the-
political hierarchy of their own institution when
Yeah.
one character is starting to be conflicted over the traditions and
Of the
her own
Blackbeard
privileged
clan.
life.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's not what you expected at all from this character. And also, the dragon, what's his name?
Abraxas.
Abraxas is hilarious.
He's so cute.
Juxtaposition.
He's
to her.
basically, what is it?
A cuddly version.
Toothless. He's toothless.
He's toothless. He's toothless. He's like my favorite part of Queen of Shadows. It's like, they
I
just
think
survived
what
that.
really kicked in Manon, why I really started liking Manon's character was when she got the spider silk.
Mhm.
That
Ooh,
was
yeah.
that was where I was like, this is officially it. She has. I mean, of course, there was nowhere before that where I could have doubted the fact that Manon had strong willpower and very, like, she's set on what she wants to do. There was
Yeah.
nothing to contradict that, but that, like, getting the spider silk for her dragon
It also
was what made me really respect her as
was
a
the
character.
turning point for her character because
It was, yeah.
It was like in her life, it's like the only loyalty you can have is to your clan, and then the clan's kind of motto is just being savage and brutal and cruel and evil in every way possible. And it was through her loyalty to her dragon that
The weakest one, the supposed weakest one.
The
She takes
supposedly
the
weakest
weakest one
dragon.
under her wing.
because she felt
Ha.
in connection.
Pun.
Yeah. And that is what starts dismantling her idea of it. But the thing is that she doesn't stop being evil and cruel. Like, she's still gonna rip anyone apart in front of her. It's just who she does becomes a different kind of story. And as she starts to...
There's a thought to it.
There's
It's
a
not-
thought to it. She doesn't
not mindless
change her
killing.
evilness, which is what I'd like. I don't want her to become good. I don't really want her to become good.
She's now a problematic fave instead of just a problematic character.
Yeah. Speaking of problematic
She wasn't a-
characters, least favorite characters or least favorite interactions, least favorite things. I'm gonna just start off with this. As
I
much
really
as-
don't not like anyone.
I don't not like anyone. I think
Except
everyone.
for, what's her name?
Oh wait, the one.
I really disliked what's her face, and then
Oh, I know who you're talking about, but
Cal-
I'm gonna...
Caltaine, and then she went
yeah.
fire goddess.
No. In the first book, the reason why I gave the first book a chance was because I was
Caltaine.
like, Catelyn is like, there's
Caltaine.
whatever.
Like Caltaine bars from
Kathleen.
Cal.
Caitlin.
Cat-
I'm just gonna say Caitlin.
It's Caltaine.
Caltaine. Caltaine. The reason why I
Okay.
gave Caltaine a chance, or Throne of Glass a chance, is because although she was just written to be your typical meme bitch, in a YA book, there was also an undertone that there was something more with her in the third book. So I just
Yeah, definitely with the
I
visions.
wanted more of her. And I still wanted more of her in Queen of Shadows. I wanted more of her in Air of Fire. I wanted more of Caltaine. Like, I want her to become my favorite character.
Well, she went out with a bang.
She went out with a bang, and I just hope in Empire of Storms, which is the next book, what I'm so excited to get, she becomes a more pivotal character.
Oh, she's dead.
She's dead?
Yeah,
No, she's not dead.
She blew up the entire place. Yeah,
But she can survive that.
can she? No, she said
Yeah,
this
no,
is
no,
my
no.
last stance against him. is
No,
what
she
I remember.
lives.
I'm
She
pretty
lives.
sure she doesn't.
She lives. If it's true that she died, then that upsets me.
Yeah, because that's what, 3 characters, female characters that go for the.
That's not the
Character
part that
development of
bothers
someone
me.
else.
Is that there's a lot of potential that could have been with her, and then she just dies.
All of the 3 characters that were killed had potential for being something better, but they were killed off, and
Then-
that makes me a little bit angry.
That's a
Sorsha?
great segue to one of the biggest
Issues with
problems.
the series.
Issues with the series. Biggest problem is one, lack of diversity.
Yeah.
Although yes, there's people of color.
But, I mean, lack of
they died
diversity-
so much more.
I guess I'm not gonna blame the authors for lack of diversity because they're gonna write characters that are more relatable to themselves, and Sarah J. Maas
I can
is white, so that's gonna be relatable. But I think I'm not going to blame anyone because it's my now personal mission to find books written by people of color with people of color as the main characters that aren't killed off and are whole. So I'm not going to make that a central issue right now.
We have to
An
talk
issue.
about how the people of color in this series tend to die, which is a problem.
Sorsha,
Sorsha, Nehemia, and
Caltaine wasn't POC, I don't think.
Caltaine wasn't POC.
But that's another female
But
character
that's
off.
the thing that bothers me. It's like, I didn't know that she died. I didn't know. I didn't
Can I
think
talk
she
about
died.
Sorsha real quick if you're talking about
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, she was just about to get interesting right when she
Yeah.
was killed. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was just unnecessary.
Yeah.
Any other character could have been killed, but her. Like, she was... You at the moment she dies, you find out that she was actually a spy. The whole thing.
Do you think that was the point to make the death affect us the same way it affected Dorian? Because before, when she was just sleeping with him, I was like, she's not really important. But then you realize that, like, there was an importance.
Yeah, but it also...
Do you think that was a plot device by the author to make her effective?
It made her...
as a death?
It made her a
But I
great
don't think that
character.
was I don't think... Just... See, because what I'm asking now is... Did she create a more full character to
feel the sense of
to
loss?
give impact to the death, or did she
I think she did both.
do that because it?
Because it's
I
like,
think-
she decided to kill Sorsha. Like, it almost like in the beginning I knew she was gonna die.
Did you?
Yeah, like in the start of Era 5. First off,
I was thinking she was
At the end of
she
Crown
was a
of
lost.
Midnight.
She was Aileen's cousin. That's what
Okay.
I was thinking.
no, I wasn't thinking that.
That's what I was thinking. Was
But like
was.
at the end of Crown of Midnight, I knew that she was going to be a pivotal character because they did those sly hints, right? Oh, the pretty nurse, right? And I was like, she's going to be an Heir of Fire. Then she gets an Heir of Fire, and I got really excited to see her. But I also knew she was going to die quickly because she was written that way since the beginning.
I think the reason why... I'm going to show my face. But I think...
No, it's fine. You're fine.
So the whole point of Sorsha is to show how people thought of her versus who she really was and how she internalized that. So
Because she was a refugee.
she was a refugee, she was a servant, no one really paid attention to her, no one thought of her as something past ordinary. But then, right in the moment she dies, we realize she is extraordinary. She was hiding a secret, she was, being a spy, she was risking her life the entire time. She was extraordinary. I think Sarah J. Maas's point, it was to show that the people who the hierarchy just looked above were actually the most pivotal characters of destroying their power, of taking away their
Yeah,
power.
so it's also
So did you just justify yourself out of hating the fact that she died?
I still think it was unfair that she died because I think it's just I see it all the time in literature and TV and movies where a person of color, particularly a woman person of color, becomes a love interest and then she tragically dies. And then her death is a symbolism instead of seen as an actual person.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
you see it
That's
Yeah,
still
that's
happens,
definitely with
even
Nehemia.
with Nehemia.
Woman of color characters.
Nehemia is what fuels Aelin to.
Yeah, but it's not her as a
leave.
person. Yeah, that's one of the biggest problems. I say, she tries to make up. Sarah J. Maas tries to make up with the death of Sorsha with Neladria in Queen of Shadows.
Who?
Because Nesrin in Queen of Shadows, because she is a refugee. And
Yeah, she is also a
also badass, and I hope she
Let's
doesn't
hope
die.
she gets more
She
than
gets
just
more.
Kale's love interest and slightly badass, very hot character. Like, there needs to be more.
Also,
So, unfortunately, at that point in time, my phone ran out of memory and would refuse to film anymore. And it took about 2 hours to transfer that 45-minute video onto my computer, and Delfina and her sister had to leave, so the video ends there. And I'm really upset about that, because we had a lot to talk about. But, I mean, that would have been an obnoxiously long video, so there's going to be a part 2 for sure when she comes back, and hopefully after the last book in the Throne of Glass series comes out. I keep forgetting the title, but after the last book comes out, she'll be back, and we'll film another video. I don't know, I think she was planning on starting another channel. When she launches her channel, I'll link it in one of my videos, and then you can go watch her too. Thank you for watching Delfina and me rant about the Throne of Glass series. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!